Hashem. Hey, Roy. Hey, Phil.
Hi, how you doing?
19th of December. It's Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Okay, good.
Sorry, I missed the other class. I had an electrical problem in my house.
yeah. I asked where you were. I figured that there was some reason that you weren't there, so they told me you were busy.
Originally, at the beginning of all this,
Yeah.
Resh Galusa wanted to buy the field. Is that right?
No,
No, who
no.
did?
Originally,
Oh, that's right. Yes, sorry. Sorry, the buyer wanted to buy the field, but he wanted to use Resh Galusa's name in order to buy it without any trouble.
right. And like that, Rav Sheshis said that the buyer didn't explicitly tell him, really it's for me. I'm really the one who's buying the field. Don't get confused, and don't write the Reish Galusa's name in the contract either to make things confusing. Right? He didn't say any of that. He really wanted the guy to think that he was buying for the needs of the Reish Galusa, and like that he would be able to avoid any conflict later on down along the line, whether from the buyer, whether from other people who want to challenge and try to take the land away from him. And he didn't want any trouble, so that's the way he thought to deal with it. That's the explanation according to Rav Sheshis. But like that, the Gemora said, "Oh, like that means that the Brisa is arguing on Bnei Marava, and that would that be a knockout punch to Bnei Marava, because Bnei Marava said that who told the seller who it is that he's supposed to be makna the wheat to in the wheat sale, as though to say, if he doesn't know, if he's not informed, so then he'll be makna it to somebody else. And here you see from this brisa, the way Rav Sheshis was explaining it, that it doesn't matter what he doesn't have to be told. He doesn't have to be told. The property goes to the one whose money buys the property. That's the way it goes. And it doesn't matter what he thinks. And so that would have challenged Bnei Merabah. Now what the Gemara is saying is, when it says, by the way, Lou, we're up to just this next line over here, Mishum ha lo kasha, which is 4 lines from the bottom of the page. And
I got it. Thank you.
We're explaining that that over here, what the Gemara is basically doing is saying that no, we don't have to explain the Brisa the way that Reb Sheshis did, and like that present a challenge to Bnei Marabah. We'll say that Kigon the Ode Labal Sod Odino Sahade, that the prospective buyer of this property, he told the buyer, he told the seller, he's the buyer, and he told the seller in no uncertain terms that his true intent is to buy the property himself. He wants to be the one to make the acquisition on the property, and he doesn't want even though he may have mentioned also, according to that, he may have mentioned the name of the Reish Galusa, but he doesn't want that the buyer, he doesn't want the seller to write a deed of sale that the seller is selling the property to the Reish Galusa. That he doesn't want. So according to this way we're now explaining, so now it doesn't present any difficulty to the Bnei Marabah, because the seller is clear that who is the one who is intending to buy the property. It's the one who he's dealing with directly, and he's being informed who it is that he should sell the property to, and he's being informed who he should write the contract to, and like that, there's no fallout against B'nai Marava.
So I don't get it. What's the point of saying I'm buying it in the name of the Reish Galusa, and then turning around and saying I'm buying it in my own name?
Okay.
Maybe it's for other people to think that, but the seller himself
Yeah.
is
Yeah. The way I understand it is like this. First of all, you have to understand something. If you look at the words of the Brisa themselves, it doesn't mention the Reish Galusa over there. It's the words of the Brisa are a bit enigmatic. It just says we don't.
Halokach sadeh b'shem Reish Galusa.
No, that's not the words of the Brisa. Words of the Brisa further up. Tanu Rabbanan.
That's the words of Rav Sheshis.
That's the words of the Brisa. Tanu Rabbanan.
Okay, so let's find Tanu Rabbanan. Tanu Rabbanan.
buys a field in the name of his fellow. We do not force him to sell.
Tanu Rabbanan is the second wide line, beginning of the second wide line.
Halokech sadeh b'shem chavero. Is that it? That's it?
Yeah. Well, then it says en kofinoso limkor.
Right. So that's our case. It said, except it says chavero instead of Reish Galusa.
Yeah. Okay. So
what
I
I'm saying
would
is-
understand it
I'm
like
saying
this.
is what purpose does it make to say chavero? Chavero, if he's then going to say, oh, by the way, it's not b'shem chavero, it's b'shem ani.
Okay, it's a good question. We have to answer the question. There's two possibilities. One possibility is that there's a difference between what the prospective buyer said to the seller orally, in other words, and what was written into the contract itself. In other words, maybe there was it was like a public thing over there. There was people over there, not just the buyer, not just the seller, and not just the witnesses. There's other people over there, and the buyer wanted the other people to think that he's buying the property for the needs of the Reish Galusa. So that's what he stated publicly.
But didn't Rashi say that the reason was he wanted the seller to think it was the Reish Galusa?
Okay, that was Rashi's explanation of Reb Sheshis's interpretation of the Brisa.
Oh,
now we're saying we're going away from Reb Sheshis, and we're saying we can interpret the Brisa in the following way. So, in order to preserve what it says b'shem chavero, we're saying that was oral. He made that statement publicly, orally, to all the people that was there. But then he told the buyer. He told the seller. The buyer told the seller. That's what the Gemora is saying over here. Kagon the ode lebal sada the odinu l'sahade. The case of the brisa is, for example, where the buyer told to the owner of the field and to the witnesses. What did he tell them? Sounds like he told them something that he did not say publicly in front of everybody that was there. Because the words of the brisa sound like he's buying the property b'shem chavero. So how do we explain those words in the brisa that he bought the property b'shem chavero? So we're saying that was what the buyer said publicly in order to not be beset with challenges to his ownership. He wants it to be publicly. People will start talking about this transaction, and they'll say, "Oh, the Reish Galusa is involved over here. The Reish Galusa. Oh, the Reish Galusa. We better not start up with this guy because he's buying for the Reish Galusa. We don't want to start up with the Reish Galusa, do we?" So like that, so he won't have people that are going to challenge his ownership of the property. So he wants that to be communicated, but he told privately to the seller and to the witnesses that he's really the one who's buying the property, and furthermore he may even have said to them, don't write in the contract that it's been that the buyer is the Reish Galusa. I'm the buyer, right? So everybody doesn't see that. They don't pass around the contract and show it to everybody and say, you see what it says here? You see who's really buying the property?
Just to clarify, Reish Galusa doesn't know anything about this.
No, I don't think that he does.
Well, what does it matter? He may know, he may not know.
We don't. This doesn't sound like this person communicated to the Reish Galusa. The reason why he's doing this is he wants to buy the property, but he doesn't want any trouble. So he's just dropping the name of the Reish Galusa here in order to. That's his patent. That's his eitzah to make sure that nobody starts up with him in regard to the ownership of this property. So, yeah.
If I was a Reish Galusa, I'd say, thank you, I accept.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, okay, so that's where we're holding right now. And so now we'll go to, it doesn't seem to be any Rashi over here. Rashi didn't comment over here. So let's go a little further. Now the Gemora says, Ela ema seifa. Now the Gemora is going to analyze the words of the seifa of the brisa that talks about this, what it says, almanas. Okay, Lou, you want to read?
Ella ema seifa. But consider the end of the brisa. Almanas, on condition. Kofin oso reish galusa limkor. We force the reish galusa to sell. Amai, why? Lema reish galusa lo yikaraihu be'ina velo zil ustaihu be'ina. Let the Reish Galusa say, I do not want your honor or your degradation. So the commentary says, why should
we have a Rashi over here.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, let Phil read the Rashi. He'll tell us what these words mean.
Maybe. Lo yikreve. I don't want your honor. Sitam ot that you placed on, that you made for me. Rosh, that you made me the head. The hatio, in order to instill fear. So he doesn't want, it's not like you're giving me the power that I can do whatever I want. So I don't want that. I don't want that honor of being the overall ruler. Below also zilu tivu, which means, and I don't want your being made less. I don't want your, what you call the degradation. I don't want to be honored. I don't want to be being degraded from that. She'atem ba'im, that you come la'asoto, to make me that I should become a own fields. It's not my job that I'm not involved in job fields. I don't want that.
Right, that you're making me into a field seller. Lemocher sados, so one who sells fields, and you're gonna dictate to me, yes, Reish Galusa, according to this agreement here, you gotta write a contract to sell this field to this Plony over here. What are you telling me what to do for? Well, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. You're telling me what to do. Get lost.
So now the Reish Galusa knows.
Well, eventually,
it could be he didn't know, and then they come to him and they say, "Please write this document."
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "What document? What are you talking about?" And they explain it to him, and then he says, "Why are you bothering me? I have nothing to do with this."
Okay, right? So, so therefore, now it's a bit misleading over here. It's a bit misleading because, why is it a bit misleading? Because, okay, in other words, the actual wording of the Brisa in the Sefer, the wording of the Brisa itself, like we said before, it doesn't mention anything about the Reish Galusa. It just says Chavero. And so the Sefer also says, Im Amar lo almanas, if the Lokeach says to the buyer that this sale, that I'm buying it, B'Shem Chavero, is almanas, that he writes me, my friend, my Chavero, he writes me, the contract that he's selling the property to me. So then he could be forced. My friend could be forced by the Bezdin to do so. So it's only Reb Sheshes rather. It's hard for me to talk here with all this noise, the drilling. I don't know if you could hear it, but it's Reb Sheshes who says the whole story about the Reish Galusa. In other words, the Reb Sheshes is the one that says that Chavero over here is the Reish Galusa, and he makes the whole shtickle Torah over here about how the intention of the buyer is to instill fear by dropping the name of the Reish Galusa, who he never spoke to, and like that, that's what the Bryce is talking about, and like that, the Bryce is saying that will force the Reish Galusa, and he'll deed the contract to the buyer if the buyer told the seller that it's almanas, that the Reish Galusa writes this thing. So on that, the Gemora is saying, what kind of this interpretation of Reb Sheshes is very difficult to hear in the words of the Brisa, because we're not going to be able. The Reish Galusa is not going to cooperate over here. Like Lou said, he's probably going to say, I never leave me out of this. I don't want your covet, and I don't want your the opposites. Just get out of here. So the whole interpretation of Reb Sheshes of the way he's explaining who Chavero is, and that the Beis Din is going to be able to force him to deed this sale, is a bit difficult to hear. I think that's and like that, the Gemara is asking a question really on Reb Sheshes, that his interpretation seems to be very difficult to hear in the Brisa.
But even if you forget about Rev Sheshes and look at the original Brisa, it doesn't say who the condition was told to. It just says Almanas Kofir Oso Limkor. Now we're assuming that the word Oso here means the friend, the Chavero. No, we're assuming Oso means the seller, but maybe Oso means the Chavero. It's not clear what it means. In other words, it could be he says to the friend, I'm buying this on condition that you sell.
It says Lokech Sadat B'Shem Chavero. He's buying the field B'Shem Chavero.
Right.
And then it says En Kofinoso Limkor. We're not gonna just because of that, we're not going to force Chavero to deed a sale document to this purchaser.
Right. Now, the word Oso is what you're translating as the Chavero.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vim Omoloi, but if he says to him Almanas, meaning if the prospective buyer communicates to the seller that it's that I'm buying in the name of my friend is only on condition that he deeds me the contract in return, and that he has to write me a contract of sale to deed the property to me. So then Kofinoso. So then the Mishnah says, yeah, we will force the friend to do so, to write that contract of sale to this buyer. Okay. So what's the Gemora's question over here? Gemora says Ema Seifa. But we got one problem over here with the way Reb Sheshes has explained this story over here, that he's saying that and we say, what's the problem? Because we look in the Seifa where the buyer said almanas, that the Reish Galusa does this for me, and we say that sounds pretty doesn't sound like it's there's a problem with this. Why? What, in other words, the Gemara asks, "Amai? Why? 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 Why?" I'm not going to say. The Gemara says why, and the Gemara says because the Reish Galusa can say, "Listen, leave me out of it. You never talked to me. You never consulted me. You just used my name. Get out of here." So what's the Gemara's? Can't hear myself, but with all this noise. But I'm glad that you can.
All right.
There's something went wrong with my internet. I didn't hear the last 30 seconds.
Can't. Oh, okay. So
I heard you say, what is the Gemara asking about the Seifa? The Reish Galusa says, I had nothing to do with it. That's the last thing I heard.
right. So if so, I think what the Gemara means to say, what's difficult with the interpretation of Reb Shishis is because the Brisa says that we could force him to do so, meaning to say that we the Bezdin, we got the koach to be able to force this Kabero, whoever he is, to write this contract. And what the Gemara is pointing out over here is what do you mean? With what power does the Bezdin have to force the Reish Galusa to sign to write this contract? He says, you didn't ask me anything. You didn't talk to me. I didn't agree to anything. Get out of here. Don't bother me. So it doesn't. And he's got a right to say that, says the Gemara. And so if so, then how could the Brises say we force him? We can't force him. How could we force him? According to this, the only reason why we're talking about a Reish Galusa is because like that, we understand why the guy who wants to drop the name of the Reish Galusa. But even if it would be anybody else also, if he didn't tell him, if he didn't agree to do this, and there's really no reason why he should want to agree to do this, he's going to say, I didn't agree to this. I wasn't informed about this. I don't want to do this. Get out of here. You can't force me to do anything. I'm not going to write the guy a contract. And so like that, the Brisa says though that the Bezdin does have the wherewithal to force him. So that's what the Brisa says. Kofino solim kor. So if so then Reb Shesh's interpretation is lacking over here. We don't see any reason why the Bezdin should be able to force the Reish Galusa, or really anybody else for that matter, to write this deed of sale to the Lokeach. So that means that there's something deficient in the interpretation of Reish of Reb Shesh's.
I don't understand why we're beating on Reb Sheshis. Even if you forget Reb Sheshis, you still have a problem with the original statement of Avero.
Oh, so now the Gemara presumably is going to move on and present another explanation over here of what it means in the Sefer that he could be forced. This Chabero, that he could be forced. What does it mean? But I see that right now we're out of time.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay. All the best. Hanukkah Sameach, a Freilich and Hanukkah.
Hey,
Enjoy
Hanukkah
your
Sameach.
punchkins,
Gam lecha.
your latkes and your punchkins.
Right. Bye for now.
Okay, take care.
No, and if you want to know what those words mean, don't look it up in Google. They don't know.
You'd be surprised how much Google knows.
Okay.
Okay, take care.